Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Amanda here, and today's video is going to be a lengthy one, so sit back, grab a snack, glance up every now and then, draw with me, who knows, do whatever you need to do, and I'm going to walk you through Inktober 2019 for me, which was a success. It was a complete success. There may have been 2 or 3 days that I missed and had to make up for, but I completed Inktober. I completed it on time yesterday, which was the 31st. Today obviously is the 1st of November, and I am so stinking excited. So I'm going to tell you all about how I set myself up for success in case you didn't quite make it this year, because last year I kind of fudged it a little. I did complete Inktober. I did complete a little drawing for each and every one of the prompts, but technically I didn't complete it on time, and I definitely didn't draw every day. So I'm going to go ahead and let you know that these are going to run one right after the other. They're going to go 1 to 31 according to the official Inktober prompts, and I may not address each one as they are on screen, but I'm just going to walk you through some of the things that I did differently this Inktober. So day 1 was the one that you just watched, and that was Ring. So in order to set myself up for success for this Inktober, I came up with a sort of plan for Inktober before it ever started. In other words, I planned on using reference photos for each and every one, or almost every one of these images. So you're going to see the references that I used to go with each of the prompts. Now, I used some pictures of my kids and some pictures from the internet, and basically I used Inktober as an excuse to get back into designing characters, drawing people, and things like that, since it's something that I had gotten out of for a while, and I really haven't done it digitally ever. So because most of my drawings now are digital paintings, I decided I'm going to go in here and start drawing people again and sort of finding my style digitally. So you will see pretty much a reference for just about everything. So day 2 was mindless, and the first thing that came to my mind over mindless was Sarah from Hocus Pocus. So there is her line work. But yeah, so I took the month of September and planned this entire thing out. I wanted to make sure I had all of my references ready, all of my sketches ready, which didn't actually happen, or as many of my sketches as I could ready, so that when October got here, I was just ready to ink. And for the most part, the sketches were done. There was about 10 days that I didn't have sketches for, that I had to come up with on the fly, but it really didn't hold me back as far as that was concerned. So I had the entire month before Inktober ever started to plan this out, and if it wasn't for that, I really don't think that I would have gotten through it. I made sure that I had the foundations for each and everything that I wanted done in order before we ever started. So the only thing that technically I needed to do to complete my Inktober, when all was said and done, was go back and ink the sketch in digitally. So I did set myself up for success, and what I plan to do is, you'll notice that the line work on these is not super detailed. Like, I didn't go into hatching and shading with the inking and all of that, because I'm going to go back and I'm going to paint these digitally. So I'm going to be spending the rest of the year doing that and going back and making sure each one of these things actually comes to life in some sort of digital painting. For some of them, you'll see fan art, like the Sarah from Hocus Pocus, like you're looking at now from Frozen, and there's a Snow White picture in there as well. I'll probably paint those as close to the style of those movies as I can, like this one from Frozen. I'll probably go in there and try to use their shading techniques and things like that. But with the characters that are just sort of inspired by random photos or other things, I'm going to really try to hone in my skills as far as digital painting is concerned, and I don't expect to get all of that done in November because I'm really, really slow at it right now, which is why I'm saying the rest of the year is going to be used up for that. So I'm going to take November and December, I believe, to go in and paint all these, because I've never really digitally painted as, you know, a main source of painting before. So this is a completely new experience for me, and I'm trying to figure out how to go about doing it. So while I think that from the first drawing to the last drawing, I do think that I have gotten better at digital inking and line work and even sketching digitally. I have gotten better at drawing characters again, at drawing people again. I have definitely gotten faster at doing all of those things. Now it's time to focus in on the coloring, which is still a really, really weak point for me. But it is what it is, and so I guess I'm saying I'm just gonna, that's my next focus. And hopefully, if all goes as planned and I sort of get myself to a point where I know what I'm doing digitally, then I am going to set myself up again for Mermaid in May next year, and hopefully I come out with the 31 prompts for May. Is 31 in May? Who knows? Anyway, the 31 prompts for Mermaid in full color rather than just the line art. So that's sort of what I'm working up to, and that's my plan going into this. If I can strengthen one area, which is the line art and the sketching of characters in general, and then I can strengthen the painting over the next couple of months, then hopefully by the time that May gets here next year and I really want to participate in Mermaid again, not only will I be able to produce a drawing each day, but a full color drawing each day, or at least that is the hope. Now we're moving on. We're at Husky now, and just trust me that I know that this is not a Husky dog that I'm drawing. So I went through a couple of different concepts with this, and apparently I forgot to flip that first part of it, but it's okay. So now I've got my son sitting here with Teetsy Weetses, who is going to be the focus, or the dog in this photo instead of a husky, but it's okay. Close enough. There's a dog in the picture, so I think it counts. Anyway, yeah. So I don't have a whole lot to say as far as the rest of the Inktober stuff goes. I'm very proud of myself. Like I said, last year I didn't actually finish Inktober on time. I kind of fudged it and did the last probably week and a half, 2 weeks worth of prompts in the very last minute, and I think it was even November when I finished it, and you can see that video. It's somewhere back in the channel. But I definitely didn't draw every day. I definitely did smaller pieces. They weren't on a main theme. They were just whatever came to my head on the subject at the time, and so they weren't a really cohesive thing. And yeah, it was just a completely different experience. So this is the first year that I have gone in and completed Inktober in the manner in which it was intended to be completed, I guess. Now I get that this is not actual pen and ink, that it is digital inking, but that being said, there is just as much effort that goes into, if not more, the digital inking process than actual pen and paper, because while yes, you do have access to an undo button, which is just a godsend half the time, because you should see some of the things that I sketch out from the start. But actually, you can see, look at these monster hands on this woman, like they're ginormous. But I get to go in and fix that. But the advantage of the undo button in digital art is almost a hindrance as well, because you agonize over lines that you can't just go in and erase when you're working with ink. So you have to be more careful from the start. So yeah, it's a give and take as far as the undo button is concerned. I mean, it gives you a little bit of flexibility, but it takes some of your spontaneous lines and your creativity away at the same time, if that makes sense. So I would say that digital inking is just as valid as actual pen and paper ink, and it doesn't matter if you do or not, because this is what I did for Inktober. It's done. You can't change it now. It is what it is, but I'm really happy with almost every single one of these drawings, by the way. There are a couple in here that I really think that I could have done better with, but overall, I see an improvement from day 1 to day 31. I see how little time it takes on these last few sketches and inkings than it did at the beginning, where I was completely stressed out. And if you actually look at the timestamps in between, the first drawing and how long it spread out, and then this last drawing, which I did in less than an hour, I do believe, while I was live streaming and chatting, with everybody who was at the live stream at the same time, I got the sketch done, I got the inking done, and everything in less than an hour while talking and interacting on a stream. So that is a big improvement over the first few days, which seemed to just take me forever. And when we get here in the middle, there are certain things that just trip me up every time when it comes to facial expressions and things like that. And should I go cartoony? Should I go more realistic? Am I going too cartoony? So I just, I go back and forth with so many of these things. These witches here that you're about to see were an absolute disaster from the start. And I'm so happy with how they came out. But they had big old monster hands too. For a while, I have a tendency apparently to draw big, and so I put these ginormous monster hands on like everything, which is ridiculous. But this is supposed to be a mother and daughter team, and when I started to put the faces in this sketch, I swear they look like zombies. They definitely did not look like live human beings, but yeah, did you see that big hand? It was horrible. But I am scaling those down, so also a benefit of digital inking and digital sketching, I can fix those big ginormous hands, before I really get into the process. But it was still a struggle. So all of these things that I struggled with at the first half of the month were not giving me near as much trouble at the end of the month. And that was the long way to go about saying that, but that was what I was trying to say. So yeah, you're about to see the faces here in a minute, so you can see how slowly this sketch is going because it's slightly more detailed, slightly less cartoony, but these faces are going to pop in here in a second and scare the bejesus out of you. So if you're prone to nightmares, turn your head, avert your eyes right now. It's going to be a hot mess in about 2 seconds. See, the little girl doesn't look so bad, just a little creepy, but check out Mama. Check out Mama. She's going to look really bad here in a second. I mean, look at that face. She didn't even look like a girl for or a woman for a while. So here we are at attempt number 2, and she is about to be just as hot as a mess as she was the first time. It's not good. Look at that. So, but we managed to pull it back, and we managed to fix it. We're changing her hair because she also looked a little extra country. Which was, we were laughing so hard about these people in the streams. We were also doing these during live streams. So I'm telling you, it was a struggle. Here's the reference image. This is what she should look like. And we changed up a few little things. We definitely changed up the outfit because this day was patterned. And so it was supposed to be a mom and daughter in their matchy outfits for Halloween. And yeah, she looked a little rough for a while, but look, her face is sort of coming together. She looks like a very mad person now. But yeah, she looks like a person and not a zombie anymore. But she had big hands too, and I'm sitting here still trying to fix how big her hands are. So these things are things that I was still struggling with halfway through the month, but really sort of got a grasp on by the time the end of the month comes. But if I have anything, I guess, of note to mention in any of these, I will be back with you. But otherwise, I'm just going to let the music play, and I'm going to let the time lapse sort of just take its course because, yeah, I pretty much told you everything that I did to set up for Inktober. I've told you everything that's going to happen after Inktober and where I am going to, how I'm going to try and set myself up for the next big challenge that I do, which is going to be Mermaid. Let me know if you participated in Inktober down in the comments. I would love to know. Did you finish? How far did you get? If you didn't finish, is this your first year? Is this your second year? Is this your, whatever year? participating. I would love to know what you did, and drop a handle for Instagram or something down below if you did participate, and I may not be following you. And I would love to check them out because I'd love to see what everybody can do. I know I've seen some work, but not everybody's work for the last month, and I just love looking at it because it makes me happy to look at other people's art. So here we go with snow, and I'm going to let the time lapse finish out. I want to thank you while we're at it so much for watching instead of thanking you later. I appreciate each and every view. And yeah, if you like the video, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Make sure to hit the little notification bell down at the bottom so you're informed when I do upload new content. It's a little sporadic here recently, but you know, we're trying to get a little bit better at that. I try to get at least one video out a week for everybody. And while you're down there, smash the little like button if you like my art for Inktober. I'm really, really happy with those pieces. So, yeah, if you're looking forward to seeing all of them digitally painted and colored in, make sure that you hit the information below and check out the description box where you'll find all my social media links. Everything will be posted on Instagram, I am sure. And if you want some of this line work to color in yourself, then you can do that by becoming a patron for $5 a month. You get all the line work and all the printables that I send out to my patrons, and this weekend I am going to be sending them out another little batch. So they've already gotten 3 of them, and I'm going to be sending them some more. So yeah, if that's something that you're interested in, go ahead and sign up for Patreon. We would love to have you over there. Alright, I love your faces so much. I will see you in the next video. Enjoy the rest of the time lapse, and yeah, I'll see you next time. just want to give a quick shout out and thank you to each and every one of my patrons. Without you, I would not be able to do this for a living. So thank you so much for your support. If you would like exclusive coloring pages, prints, creature cards, and all kinds of fun line work, then check out the Patreon link in the description box below.